EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Today it's week 3, and we've got a good one in store, as it'll be our visitors taking on our home team. On the visitors' sideline, their head coach. His guys off to a strong 2-0 start to begin the 2026 campaign. His counterpart on the other side, the head coach of the home team. His guys ready to show out in front of the home fans as they try to send them home happy at the end of this one. The final weekend of the summer. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you are as we are off and running on EA Sports. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And they'll be led out by their third-year quarterback.
And last week's loss came despite a clean game on his end, throwing the ball with 2 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. His job this week is simple. Do it again. Continue to avoid turnovers and hope that what something last week resolves itself this time around.
2 yards to go, second down.
Brings up 2nd and 2.
On play action, now McCarthy. And this is taken in by Darnell Mooney. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
First and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Second and short, that's a rundown, so it's definitely a good time to go play action if you're feeling it. And they do so and pick up a first down.
A first down carry for Barkley. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. Well, this defense, Charles, really played well in that win a week ago.
And the way they did it was by getting after the quarterback. Sacked him 7 times in that game. Came from all angles, created a lot of illusions, and especially just beat them man for man. That's the kind of defense that really frustrates an opponent.
Darnell Mooney, the target there. And it's 3rd and 5. When you look at this defense, they played well against the pass. Currently ranked 7th in the NFL.
You have to like the way that they played in the first month. They have to be very proud of being a top 10 unit against the pass. Their goal, though, in this one, see if they can improve that ranking.
That's good for a first down. First and 10 at the 22-yard line.
They'll send a receiver in motion to the left. On play action, McCarthy. To the right side, he's got Vela. From the 20, here's a 2nd and 8.
Out of bounds at the 20-yard line. A gain of 2. Brings up 2nd and 8.
And they'll try to run the option here. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. J.J. McCarthy. His 4th touchdown on the year. And this offense takes the ball down the field and scores on their opening drive. Defensively, they told us that the top priority was defending option plays this week. But here on the very first drive, the defense broke down a bit.
It certainly did, and it's really not a surprise because defending option football is difficult. You have to think too much. Most of the time, you just react to what you see and you play fast. Here you're reacting, you're processing. Do I have the back? Do I have the quarterback? Who do I take? Do I take on a blocker? And next thing you know, he's in the end zone.
And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. So now we'll get a look at the other offensive unit as they come out for their first possession. They will be led out by the 6-foot lefty from Alabama. It's Tua Tagovailoa. Play action. Now it's Tua. And the pressure gets there, and Tua is going to be taken down. Lee McNeil, what an effort to get in there and drop him. Well, if they have any thoughts of coming in here and getting this road victory, that's not the way to start it out on the first play of the game.
Yeah, one thing you always say when you go on the road, take the crowd out of the game. They actually brought the crowd into it by permitting that sack right out of the gate.
Here's Tua. And that one going to come up short. Low throw.
And this drive was almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on first down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
Now he's going to step up and run. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th.
That's an early scramble that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish it as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play in one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground, and Saquon Barkley. And strong running there as he's across midfield and down to the 49. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
And a first down. 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
His first carry of their second drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their first drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurdling through them.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4 at the 43-yard line.
They'll run it again with Barkley. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 44 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
McCarthy off the play fake. And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield. Michael Dana in there to get him. It's a loss of 5.
At the 43-yard line.
They said there was a lot of discussion in their defensive team meeting room after last week's performance. They had 7 sacks. Something in the water. There's one in the first quarter.
A lot of discussion, a lot of excitement because now everyone wants to get involved with this. Who's going to continue that process? Who's going to get to the quarterback this week? But they have to be careful. When you have that much pressure, they want to use it against you. Draws, screens, those types of plays.
Let's see if they do that. Looking deep here from Mooney. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. And that will extend their lead even further. So a touchdown on their opening drive and 3 more here, and it adds to their first quarter lead.
Yeah, everything's going according to plan so far because the offense has moved the ball, defense able to do their job, and here the special teams unit comes through with their contribution. A field goal to make it 10-zip.
Back onto the field comes this offense, ready for their second drive. Early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game, but I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them, but I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice, but at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Lewis Cine. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Tua going to throw. Under pressure, they got him again. The pressure from multiple guys there as they bury him for a big 9-yard loss. And that is the third sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Man, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. Back-to-back sacks have this place in a frenzy as they line up again, 3rd and long now. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety.
An absolutely dominating series from that pass rush to record the safety. 3 sacks in a row shouldn't be possible against an NFL offensive line. But there they are, dropping him on 3 straight reps, the last of which came in the end zone for 2 points.
After the safety, remember, they also need to give up the football, and here's the free kick. Fielded at the 20. Shrugs the tackle.
Nice.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. And Charles, these early season in-division games are always interesting because you're still kind of figuring yourself out, but you want to know as much as you can about the opponent, especially when it's a division matchup. So I'm curious to see how the rest of this one plays out.
Yeah, that's a good point because they're still trying to work things out. They don't know everything about their own team, let alone trying to figure out their opponent. But you've got to do both on the fly, don't you? While the game's being played, you figure it out both ways and try and find a way to win.
1st and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look.
1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Barkley, inside handoff. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up. Found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is...
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. They'll come up now 3rd and 9.
A loss of 2 yards. It's 3rd and 9.
Looking to throw McCarthy. That is caught. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. 12-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter now, and it's our home team with possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Throwing is McCarthy. Now he'll tuck this and run. And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the 1st down on a 13-yard run.
1st down. 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line.
Up the middle with Barkley. And he's able to work his way down inside the red zone to the 19-yard line. 66 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
1st and 10.
A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business in the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Dre Greenlaw in there on the tackle.
When a drive goes this long, you have to give a lot of credit to the guys up front, those big fellas, because the offensive line is putting something together that allows them to continue to control the ball. And I know a lot of people think they get fatigued on a long drive. Actually, a lot of times the reverse happens. They actually get energized because they're controlling the ball, and they're the ones dictating to the defense.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away. And for the 2nd time this half, on comes the field goal unit here. From the right hash, it's a 35-yard attempt. And this one is right through. So when you factor in the safety, this now a 5-point swing.
And look, I'm not going to turn away a 5-point swing because 5 points, that's valuable. Don't get me wrong on this. But if they could have taken that safety and added 7 to it, now you're talking about a really big swing.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. On the ground, this is Joe Mixon. And he'll get this up just shy of the 30.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down. And you know what offenses want? Win 1st down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on 1st down. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. Looking for his running back, and he's got it.
Another miss.
Still on his feet. And he will step out of bounds here inside the 30. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Off a play action. Tagovailoa. Pass complete. Joe Mixon out of the backfield. 2nd down and 4.
Out of bounds at the 21-yard line. It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4.
Tagovailoa working out of the gun. To the right side and intercepted. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, this had trouble written all over from the start. He's got 2 extra defensive backs in the game he's got to deal with. They're in a dime set. So everywhere he's looking, he's seeing a different color jersey. And sure enough, this one winds up being intercepted.
There go play action. Here's McCarthy. In trouble, and he's taken down. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd. So, Charles, no turnovers yet for this offense, but those sacks now, they're starting to pile up.
And one thing usually leads to another because they've got to figure out how the offensive line and everyone else involved in protection can keep their quarterback upright and allow him a chance to throw the ball downfield.
And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd down and 17.
To the air with McCarthy. Gets this to Saquon Barkley out of the backfield. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. How about that? They weather the storm of a 3rd and 17 to pick up the first.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line.
Well, things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick a down, any down, even 3rd down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
On the RPO, he'll keep it himself. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
It's a gain of 8. Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 39-yard line.
Now McCarthy. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front. The offense on 3rd down, they've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And it's caught. Touchdown. Ty Felton, 60 yards. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. Charles, there aren't really any slow receivers, but there's fast and then really fast. He's really fast, and he showed off the afterburners there.
And that he is, because when he took off, I was thinking there's no chance that he can actually reach him with that pass. Yet he did, and he's still sprinting. And just think about what that does for everyone else on his team, because his ability to stretch a field opens things up for the rest of the receivers on the team.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead opens up now to 22 points. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only Only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Out of the gun on 3rd down, here's Tua. He'll try to pick it up himself. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down.
And a 1st down. It's a gain of 25 yards. Results in a 1st down.
This is where the NFL is headed year by year, partner. A league where just about everyone has someone under center who can get you with their legs as well as their arm. And we've certainly had a nice display of that from both QBs in this game. And that continued with that 1st down run.
Ball on the 36 now. Here's 2nd and 3. Now it's Mixon running right. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Tua sets up to pass it. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds.
15 yards. Complete to number 1.
Now Tua.
Xavier Worthy.
That's into the hands of Worthy once again. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19.
A gain of a yard.
Throwing now is Tagovailoa. He'll drop this one down to Mixon. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line.
To Joe Mixon. It's a gain of 6.
Looking to pass. Tua. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete. So 2 third-down conversions on this drive, but not able to get a third, and now they deal with 4th down. They run for it with Mixon. And nowhere to go. He's going to be stopped behind the line. Denied on 4th down is Joe Mixon. And this 10-play drive winds up yielding nothing. A chance to get some momentum here in the 2nd quarter, getting their first trip into the red zone, but unable to get it across.
And if I'm the head coach, sure, you feel some disappointment, maybe a little bit of deflation there because you didn't get it in, but I'm going straight to rah-rah mode. All right, guys, we didn't get it this time. It's only the 2nd quarter. We'll be back. Let's get it later on. I want to keep this team up. I don't want them to feel like they've let everyone down.
Positive.
Got to be positive in this situation. It's too early to think that you don't have a chance to win this game.
Back at the 10-yard line.
So a 5-yard run the other way in the wrong direction, and that leads us to 2nd and 15. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he'll just keep 2 hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. Once again, they'll keep it on the ground. And he will not make it to that imaginary yellow line as they get him to the ground at about the 23. Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Here's the punter, Martin, out to kick it away. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Throwing left side, and Watson has it. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds.
Out of bounds at the 38-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup. Brings up
throwing again on 2nd down. Tua. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. From the gun, it's Tua. Now throw right side here, going to be incomplete. And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter. Tua, the final shot before half. He's going to take a shot at the end zone. Why not? Oh, that is incomplete. So these two teams off to their locker rooms for intermission, and that means we go to Orlando. Here's Scott Hanson with our halftime report. Scott?
All right, Brandon, thanks much. Welcome in, everyone, to the Orlando studios. Scott Hanson with you for a quick recap of the first half, which has been strongly one-sided. This is heading towards blowout territory unless they can come from behind and get themselves a victory. Let's find out what happens in the second half. Let's go back out to the commentary team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Scott, thank you very much. We are ready to get started here with the second half. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. This offense ready to go to begin this third quarter. We'll see, Charles, if they had a chance to hit the reset button at halftime. They have not scored. They're facing this big deficit. And if they're going to come back, it's going to have to start right now.
Yeah, and for them, it's not dwelling in the negative because he
hits it, and all the ball is out. Oh, one of the linebackers has got it. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. And they came out of the locker trailing. Not a good way to start this second half with their first drive.
Can't imagine that the discussion at halftime encompassed this at all. In fact, I'm sure they talked about, okay, kind of wipe the slate clean, start the second half, and let's go out and play the way we know that we can. That's not a great example of it.
They didn't envision that. And here now the offense heading back out there.
The previous play is under review.
And the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. On 2nd and 9, Tua. They get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
It's a gain of 16 yards. That's good for a first down. A gain of 16 yards.
On play action, here's Tua. A gain of 8 there on the play, and it'll be second in a couple.
It's a gain of 8. Brings up second.
They'll set up a throw. The pressure gets there, and Tua is going to be taken down. Credit the sack to Fred Warner. It has been a rough afternoon for him trying to get rid of the football. See, that's now 5 sacks.
How'd you like to be the offensive coordinator, the offensive line coach trying to come up with an answer for this pass rush? What blocking assignments do you change? Can guys play a little bit better? And we're seeing the end result on the scoreboard. Long day in the pocket for the quarterback.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. This completes to Corley. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Running left, it's Mixon. And maybe a little over pursuit there as he's able to take this down to the 25-yard line. Same exact result as last play, a pickup of 11.
A gain of 11 on the play. And
some big plays in the passing game on this drive, and here's one out of the running game. So the passing game loosening things up. Now there's room to roam.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Greg Newsom.
They were well aware of the scoreboard as they went into halftime, and they know how tough it's been to put up any kind of points. But if there's a positive after that play, is that they were able to take a shot at the end zone on their opening drive of this half. The negative, though, that shot at 6 ended in an interception, and we know that's not going to jumpstart this struggling offense.
Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They had the big halftime lead. Their defense just helped them out further by forcing the turnover, so things are starting to look pretty rosy.
They certainly are, but they've got to be careful about getting complacent, though. They still need to go out and run their offense efficiently.
So he stopped for no gain, and it's second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 87 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
And a first down.
He's turning in a pretty impressive performance running the football and a big reason why they have this nice lead.
And in days gone by, we would clip this out and put it up on the refrigerator when we clip out the box score. Nowadays, not too many newspapers out there. Maybe you screenshot it online.
Brings up 2nd and 9.
McCarthy is set to throw it. Now he's going to step up and run. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
On the draw, this is Barkley. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
The tackle made at the 44-yard line.
Again, it's Barkley. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. There's a give to Barkley. Tackle made there by Chidobe Awuzie.
They're a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves and start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. And some strong running there as he's down just shy of the 20 on the edge of the red zone.
A gain of 17 yards. And a first down.
A give to Barkley out of the gun. And a good job of just fighting through one tackle there to pick up about 3. Second down coming up.
It's a pickup of 3.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
On second down, here's the option. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 4 yards there on the keeper, but still going to bring up a third down.
3rd and 3.
Here's McCarthy. And he'll get this underneath, dropping it off for Barkley. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage.
Gain on the play. Complete to Saquon Barkley. 1st and goal at the 9-yard line.
They'll try and run forward with Barkley. He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal.
Brings up 2nd and goal at the 6-yard line.
Another try for Barkley. Nothing doing there as the 13th play of the drive proves to be unlucky. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we've played 3 quarters. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. 3rd and goal, McCarthy. His pass caught at the 4. A 4-yard pickup, not enough. 4th down. So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. And his kick here is good. And that will extend their lead even further. Well, whatever was said in the locker room during the break must have worked. They forced the turnover. They didn't get the touchdown, Charles, but it does translate into 3 points to begin this second half.
Exactly as they discussed in the locker room at halftime. Get some points to get things kick-started. Now start your half off with some momentum. Gives you something to build on for your next possession.
And now this offense comes back out onto the field. Their mini two-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
Number 9, Christian Watson. A 3-yard pickup. Brings up 2nd and 7.
Here's Tua.
31-yard line.
That's caught right side by Worthy. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk at a 45.
14 yards. That's good for a first down.
And they run the option here on 1st and 10. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Oh, and Tua going to be intercepted for the 3rd time. Picked off by Lewis Cine. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. They begin with a run by Barkley. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
On the tackle. 8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2.
2nd down. Here's Barkley again. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. This offense so far on 3rd down, 5 out of 9 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll try to run for it with Barkley. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. The defense stiffens to force 4th down following that 1st down gain of 8.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. It's been a tough go for them. It's still without any points here in the 4th quarter. And a big deficit, Charles. But they moved the football on some drives. They just haven't had any points.
Yeah, and I know in their minds they're thinking the game plan has actually been working. We just haven't scored points. Well, isn't that the bottom line, partner? To put points on the board? So if you're moving it and you're not scoring, is it really working? Right now, they've got nothing left to lose. They might as well go for broke.
Now it's 2nd and 10.
He was defended by Lewis Cine.
Going to the air, Tagovailoa. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Tua going to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
And he'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line, and he will take it in for the touchdown. A great play there. 29 yards. And his guys are able to cut into that deficit. Now Greg Zuerlein on for the extra point. And that'll cut the lead down now to 18.
makes the score.
So the drive there took 6 plays. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And it looks like this one won't work out. Hans team able to secure the football. Now they're down big here in the fourth. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
The home team's offense and J.J. McCarthy getting ready to go back to work. And this defense has got to be at its wits' end, trying to come up with ways to keep him contained. He's had so many opportunities to tuck it and go, and he's turned a number of those opportunities into big plays. No gain on the play there, second down.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Incomplete. Brings up a third down and 10 yards to go.
Throwing is McCarthy. He'll let this go for the end zone. And it's caught. Touchdown. Darnell Mooney, 42 yards. As his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. He's got them out now to a 3-score lead here in the fourth quarter after that one, CD. And well, he looked right off the line like he knew that that ball was coming his way, and he secured it for 6 points.
Yeah, and I think when you're leading by a healthy margin already, it actually loosens you up and allows you to take maybe a few more chances and definitely play with more confidence, because he certainly saw something he could exploit in the defense, and he made sure to let his quarterback know, just get it to me. And the rest was all up to him, and he delivered and made it a 3-score game.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. But we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing, and partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Looking to throw again on second down. Tua. Pass throw right back to Joe Mixon. They'll come up facing 3rd and 5.
That's a gain of 4. Brings up 3rd and 5.
They'll look to throw here. That one taken in by Corley. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage.
Complete to Malachi Corley.
Here's a fake on the jet sweep and a run up the middle with Mixon. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6.
Tagovailoa working out of the gun. Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. The corner blitz gets there as he goes down for a loss of 7. Well, collectively as a defense, Charles, I think if you get 4 sacks a game, you're feeling really good. Now they have 6 as a unit.
And that type of a number is just staggering because there's so many ways to try and counteract it. But in this case, they've got no answers for this unrelenting pressure coming at their quarterback.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that one to the right side and incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. But after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
4th down, 4th quarter. Here's Tua. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the ball will go over on downs on the short side of the field. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
They'll start out here with the option left. And he probably should have given that one off as he's going to get hit and taken down behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down. Well, he's had success running the football in this one. Yeah, that's undeniable. But that time, the defense was on to it.
And, partner, I think the more you see a play like this, the more they're able to diagnose it quicker and easier for them to defend it. I think you have to dress it up a little bit and show maybe some different formations and looks. And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
On third down, Barkley. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves him with a 4th down now.
Joshua Carty on for the field goal.
And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will extend their lead even further. So plenty of smiles for the folks here as they head for the exits. It's a victory for their hometown guys. And we talk so much about the turnover battle, determining who wins, who loses. This game, no exception. Error-free football, no turnovers at all, and they win it.
So this is one you don't have to convince your team that what you're saying is accurate. And you know what I'm talking about. Head coach always stands up in front of the team and says, guys, if we do this, this, and this, we'll win. And usually they say if we win the turnover battle, we'll win. Well, here's the proof right there. Win the turnover battle, go on to victory. Now the guys believe. You move on to the next lesson where you have to convince them. This one is now planted.
So for the home team here, they get back in the win column as they move to 2-1 now on the year. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for our visitors, they too will exit with a 2-1 record. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.